Andreas, Adele, and Ian. Excellent. And the first thing we start off with, and we'll have you all here. If we go back to the poll at the start, we asked our audience, what is at the green energy threshold in Europe? What is needed to tip the balance in favour of hydrogen as an energy vector? The majority said it was increased national policy and hydrogen strategies at 45%, followed up by increased deployment and demonstration facilities and infrastructure at 25%. I give this question to Ian. Ian, what do you think is going to be the single biggest factor over the next 3 to 5 years that's going to tip the scale and balance of green hydrogen, please?
Well, 3 to 5 years, Paul, it's slightly different. I think obviously you have national policies and strategies there coming through now. And we're seeing most countries in Europe have their own individual hydrogen strategy, and associated with that strategy, we're seeing significant funding from both member state governments, but also from the EU as well. So I think that there will be policy. I think that there will be incentives. What I also think we need to see is leadership. I know it's not featuring particularly high on this list, but you know, we've got these technologies that we've been proving them for the last 30 years. Okay, some of them aren't scaled up yet, but we know how to do that scaling. And there are companies that have been through this process within an engineering context many times. So scaling up those systems should not be the issue. We need to see leadership to say, right, guys, hydrogen is the route, or it will be a route. Therefore, we need to make those investments and we need to make those transitions today. Because if we don't do it now, the goals of 2040 and 2035 and even 2030, they're never going to be achievable.
Ian, thank you very much. Same question, Adele. Given your regional hat and your Italian base, what are your thoughts? What is going to tip the balance in favour of green hydrogen?
Yeah, here in Italy there is a huge interest. This is maybe the first time that in Italy we started to think to give money for promoting something like a hydrogen Green Deal, because our ministry for the first time came and just said clearly that we have to invest a lot in research for promoting this transition. So yes, you see in Italy there is a lot of basic research and on these aspects, less on application. So there is a less interest maybe from industries on this. So we have to do a lot of work also on national level, also like researchers to involve, to get much more involvement and interest from industries, just to favor this transition. Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. Andreas, same question to you with your Saarbrücken German hat on, please.
Yes, okay. I come from Saarland, and Saarland is traditionally a big steel producer. It's so we have the discussion here. Replacement of coal, which is empty here, and at the moment we import coal from China or Asia or Australia to produce steel. And so the replacement of coal for steel production through hydrogen it's a discussion which is also in and started here. Yes, it has started. And what I see as from our laboratory, so in 2020 the hydrogen interest in hydrogen permeation has risen a lot. So we have a lot to do testing hydrogen materials, and materials is just the beginning. So, and it's mainly transportation, which is interested, automotive industry and aerospace, and also other types of industries. So I think now it's really starting something here.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Andreas. And Stephen, same to yourself with your Welsh/Oxford hat on.
So I think the things we do today will still be with us in 2030 and as we in 2050. And if we look to what things we do in 2030, by 2050 we'll still have the same things in place. So when we look at how do we decarbonize industry, decisions we make now will still be with us in 2050. So we have to look quickly at what the best options are. And I think there is funding available, becoming available for demonstration projects on a larger scale to look at the best way to do things. But there is some urgency now because companies have to make decisions of what they want to do, how they're going to look forward, and they look over longer timescales. So there is a very urgent need to think seriously and strategically about how we do things and how we decarbonise.
One thing I would say as well, Paul, is that we don't see an Elon Musk figure for hydrogen. All right, and we maybe it's shoes that you can fill. I don't know, but I do think that it's something that you know the public get behind, and therefore it creates a momentum all of its own. So you know we need thought leaders saying the right things to members of the public going forward, and I think that is key in the not too distant future, because we need to take the public with us on this phase of the transition.
On that point, Ian, when in the absence of a leading figure, Elon Musk, there's a number of people there that could fill those shoes, the likes of Joe Bamford, who bought over Wrightbus and he owns Rise. Are governments playing their cards close to their chest to see what other governments are going to do first, or should there be leaders?
Oh, I think there definitely should be leaders. I mean, here, both company-wise and individual-wise and country-wise, certain countries and individuals can galvanize momentum. And, you know, if Germany said tomorrow we are betting 100% on hydrogen, the rest of Europe would immediately fall behind it. Okay, it's just the standard practice, really. Whereas, you know, if that was maybe Luxembourg, it might be slightly different. So you do have a different position here, and we do need to understand the ramifications of those decisions. But for the hydrogen sector to become effective quickly and to expand from just being a replacement for existing molecules with a green solution into these new applications that we've talked about today, we need leadership, and we need countries to take this to take the floor.
It's fair to say that Germany is taking leadership, because through the work we're doing with ITSIS and Dr. Gross, there are trains, there are buses, there are cars now moving down that hydrogen way. So, Andreas, unless you have Angela Merkel's phone number, what's the best way then for Germany to keep leading Europe in the hydrogen pathway?
Yes, it's above my focus. I think the picture is quite complex, and you have money drives. This means if somebody can get or can reduce amount of money spent for something, then it will come. So if you have green hydrogen, which is cost competitive to other solutions, then it will come. Otherwise, money will turn it to the other side. But I think there's also a pressure of these increasing temperatures and climate change, and I hope it's a long-term thing. I hope people are clever enough to do the right decisions, and I think it's a thing to do influencing in politics, and to tell people which have to do the decisions from a scientific way what will be a possible way. So it's a complex thing.
Excellent. Listen, one final question to you all, and this is your 30-second shop window. The European Green Deal is establishing a roadmap to transform the European economy based on green transition. There is consensus that the economic recovery for Europe must be green, with the fight against climate change at its core. The European Green Deal calls are out, and which call would you like to be part of, and how do you see your company or your expertise filling that? Adele, we'll go to you first, please. You're on mute, Adele. Adele, we still can't hear you. Oh, you're still on mute.
I'm sorry. Yes, my institute is a research institute, and my group works on hydrogen purification separation with membranes, not only with the metallic membranes, but also with polymeric membranes. So we study from modeling to final application. So for sure, we are really interested in joining several projects about hydrogen separation, purification, and also hydrogen use. For example, in the case of photocatalytic application for conversion of carbon dioxide coupled with hydrogen produced by electrolysis for producing methane or liquid fuels. So this is main our aim. We are material scientists, we are chemical engineers, and we work in this field in the research phase mainly. Thank you.
Thank you, Adele. Stephen, given that Boris is taking us out of Europe, but the research team can still stay in Europe, and you can still keep a foot in the leading research, especially in hydrogen, what call would you like to take part in? Or what area?
So I do believe that the future of hydrogen is going to be electrolytic from renewables. So, and that is a bit different from the way things seem to be going in the UK. So we have at the university lots of expertise in hydrogen in different areas, but it's not proven, but my belief is that electrolytic hydrogen is the way to go. So I'd like to be involved in that, renewables to large-scale renewables to hydrogen.
Excellent. And Andreas, the same question to you. What part could Makati play in what area of the Green Deal calls?
Yes, Makati is material testing laboratory and is a development partner. So we hope to get more partners and or corporations or customers which just contact us to do material development together with us. So it's our daily job, and we want to continue it. And I think it's increasing, and it will be increasing in the next decade. So in Germany you tell Brot- and Buttergeschäft. This means it's your daily bread and butter. We want to earn with this. Thank you, Paul.
Excellent. And the same question to yourself, Ian, with your two hats on. You're high energy CEO, but also president of the European Hydrogen Association.
Okay, so let me do high energy first. We write big projects. We've written the Heaven project, which was the Hydrogen Valley project of the previous FCHJU call. And yesterday, the Green Highlands initiative was announced. We also wrote that. So we're in a position where we do bring together many different companies into complex projects, and we try and knit the aspirations of all those companies together and come out with a coherent story at the end of the day. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's more challenging. We do like to play a role in some of these projects, both from a high energy perspective and also from an EHA perspective. EHA is offers a mechanism for individual projects to disseminate their information on a European-wide platform. And we try and manage some of those projects and some of those interfaces into Brussels so that the project gets higher profiles. So between the two, we do look for playing roles in the Green Deal. And if there are people out there that wish to have some support, then we're very interested.
Ian, Adele, Andreas, Stephen, many thanks for your contributions this morning. It's been a lively and good debate where a lot of different thoughts from across Europe are taken. The audience, thank you for your questions coming in and keeping the thing live. As I said right at the start, we like to keep it interactive. So speakers, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the backroom team and Eugene and Joanna. They keep things moving that we don't see. You've lived in this virtual world and it's hard to engage with an audience you can't see, but thank you for that. As we said, HAZEL is hydrogen-enabled zero-emission supply chains. It's not about one person, one project. It's that consortium and how we make sure that we're part of that European hydrogen highway. That highway is the technical, social, commercial and industrial highway across all of Europe, north, south, east and west, to make sure that we green that hydrogen. One of our steps, and you see it there on your screen, is a link to our latest H2Go news, which details the Hydrogen Triple Alliance. That's GenCom, Seed Fuel and Huge joining together to share the decision support tool being developed in GenCom under Dr. Roy Monaghan in Galway and the Community Hydrogen Forum to make sure we bring the communication and dissemination out there. Our next hydrogen-enabled zero-emission supply chain webinar is on the 3rd of November. It's hydrogen application and storage. And that will include University of Ulster, Energia and other speakers looking at hydrogen in a net zero system and hydrogen-powered heat pumps. It's all current how we keep on this pathway and how we now move forward in this pathway. How we now move that link. And it's important that, yes, the Green Deal is there for Europe and it's a large pie, but we need to make sure partners, speakers this morning, and the audience get a slice of that pie to make sure we're all part of that hydrogen evolution. I would like to thank you all, folks. There's our social distance calling cards, our websites, our LinkedIn links, Hydrogen Community Hydrogen Forum and Hydrogen Ireland website. We'll see you all at the next webinar, and thank you all very much for attending. And Anne Art, this is her last day. Good luck on your journey, Anne. She moves on to pastures new. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Anne.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.